guys, so nikisema Wakenya mnabeba ujinga, I'm very serious about it because most of you guys huwa mnapenda kubeba ujinga sana, and in fact politicians know that. Yani nyinyi mnapenda tu kubeba ufala, unacheki. So today I saw your favorite member of parliament akilipia watu fare kwa njia. Sawa? Anauliza kina nani wanaenda tao, ingieni hii gari, niwalipie nini? Niwalipie fare. You know, this is the same member of parliament who was the other day in parliament passing the finance bill that was proposing 16% like VAT in terms on fuel products. Unajua, you know, why would you guys even take someone like that seriously? Because it just portrays how anapenda kuwabeba ufala from the beginning. Because, you know, many Kenyans are suffering at the moment. The unemployment rate in Kenya is too high. Now, if you look at this scenario like I've just addressed right now, what do you think will happen tomorrow, henceforth? Will the same member of parliament come to buy you food when tax is increased on food products, or rather, unga ikipanda juu? Will he come to buy for you that flour in your house? They'll not come to buy the flour. They won't do it. Okay, let's talk about the fare that was being paid for people who are going to town, right? How long will he be able to sustain that? Yeah? How long is it gonna take for him to, and will he pay for every constituent in his constituency? It's not going to happen. Yeah? These are some of those PR stunts that you guys like buying into. And I don't know how you guys tend to believe some of these things, you know. Now maybe who get so pissed off because when you look at how even your favorite president, Huwa na wabeba ufala every now and then. Today they speak on one tank, the other day they speak on the other tank, and you guys still buy it. Okay, let's talk about the issue about trees, right? I know a while back, these are the same people who say the directive to ban logging is a very good directive, right? Right now, the tone has changed. Remember the other day, someone was taking, you know, a whole bunch of Kakamega forest to try and, you know, kukuza miti huko. I don't know if these two things are related, but in Kenya, what I've come to learn, nothing is a coincidence, right? I understand that we need some form of serious leadership, but at the moment, I think you Kenyans just deserve what you have because you're never serious at all. You don't question things, you just buy into things and you move as you move. I heard the other day again, you were told that Huduma number by President Uhuru Kenyatta was a scam and we lost like 15 billion, right? You know who is saying that? The same person who went and said that Huduma number is going to help you guys and even joined by the family to apply for the same. And they're telling you right now it's a fraud, right? And now they want to bring in digital IDs. Another fraud, right? Another scam cooking. Just as you watch. And you're the same people when you tell you some of these things, you'll say, we like just opposing the government. You see, I have no problem with the government. If the government does or works for the benefit of the citizen, I'll have no problem with the government. But it's not like we just wake up and decide to oppose the government. We don't. In fact, most of the people would love to support the government if it comes to that. But is the government pro-citizens or it's against the citizens? Today, right, the court has ruled that the 50 appointed CSs were appointed and the appointments were unconstitutional. It's not like the president didn't know that. He knew it, but went ahead even as people made a lot of noise towards him not doing it. But they went ahead and did it. Why? Do they respect the Constitution? No, they don't. They do not respect the Constitution at all. So I think Kenyans, you love the leaders that you have. You actually pretend not to like them, but you do like them because they reflect who you are as citizens. These are the same people we sang and told you guys, do not vote for this kind of people. Yeah? These are the same people we told you, don't vote for them. The other day in KICC. Yeah? There is a lady who was there, Judy, one of the biggest people who was in a scam that they scammed so many youth in Kenya, promising them jobs abroad. But you saw what was happening. And from the look of things, some of these guys are untouchable, as they say. So I think what you guys need to do at the moment is to buckle up, because things are not going to get easy. I understand people need to love their country, but at the moment, yes, we do love the country, not the leadership. Because if you look at the leadership, no, it's not for me as a person. No, it's not mine. It's not something I would support at all, at all, at all. We are still struggling to feed Kenyans. Yet, in our flag, agriculture is the backbone of the economy. Yet, Kenyans are going day and night without food. We had a huge hunger. Like just a few years ago, not even a few years, last year, people were dying of hunger. Yeah? Yet, agriculture is the backbone of the economy. How is it the backbone of the economy? Yet, we have become a country that imports everything from toothpicks, brooms. Like, we are importing almost everything, right? We have become an economy that is run through consumerism. We have developed a culture of consumerism as a people of Kenya. We are not exporting as we used to do. If you look at our industries, they are collapsing. Mumias, Webuye Pan Paper, and so many others. But there's nothing that is being done at the moment to revive them. And you know, things will not get easier as we go ahead, because if you look at what is to come, even how the leaders that you guys are elected are talking, they're talking like people who are drowned in power, right? And you guys need to wake up. You see, before this election, I had friends, right? These friends used to complain so much about how the previous government was bad, how things are not easy, how it's not even just this government. Even before the initial government, the Uhuruto government, people are complaining that things are thick, things are hard, things are not working. But you know what happened when we came to the election? These are the same individuals who fell back to their tribal cocoons and decided this is where we are going to vote. No, I have no problem when you decide to vote the way you want. But I have a problem when you ask me for advice. I give you advice. Then the next day you follow what you think is right for you, which I have no problem with. Then you come to complain and lament to me about how your problems are hard. At the moment, so many people complain in the DMs. Things are hard. Can you please advise me how I can do this? Things are difficult. Can you advise me how I can do that? When the time of the election was there, we were advising you on voting in the right leaders. You guys were not taking that advice. So, why do you believe that my advice should matter right now? I think you guys need to live and understand how to live with consequences of your actions, so that you guys know and understand that politics should be taken seriously. You know, you cannot run away from politics. You guys should know that by now. Whether you say you are not going to vote or you'll vote, politics will affect you. Whether you choose to vote for your tribe or not, the impact will still affect you. Whether you choose, I'm going to work during the voting day, or you're going to vote, still it will affect you. Whatever you do, in any decision you make, humans are inherently political beings. And by pretending that you cannot engage in politics and you will just have to get away with the consequences, you cannot run away from politics. And you guys need to understand that. You need to exercise your civil duty to this country. Whether you decide not to vote, when the price of unga will go up, it will affect you. If you decide not to vote and university fees is raised the way it is right now, it's going to affect you. And where will you complain? Whom will you complain to? And you never voted. Yeah? So people need to understand this idea that not going to vote is, yes, not voting is also a democratic right, and it's also a choice that you've made. You have exercised your right as a citizen, because not voting is also voting. But at the end of the day, you need to understand the consequences of your actions, right? At the moment, we have so many youths in Kenya, jobless, right? In fact, so many are applying for passports to go outside Kenya to look for something to do for themselves, because this country hates its youth. It hates the youth so much. The other day, we had a scenario where even, yeah, a committee in parliament is rejecting an appointee by the president who had reached their retirement age, but they were still being given jobs. Yet you guys are the guys who are being told you're going to get jobs. If you look at the CASs that were appointed, kindly, you guys, if you were very keen, you should tell us how many Mambabogas were in that were appointed to those positions. You guys need to understand that your ignorance and how you choose not to take politics seriously is what is costing this country a lot. You know, Kenya has the potential to grow. In fact, I believe Kenya is one of those nations that is blessed, even from the location that we are in. We have very great climate. We have citizens who are very hardworking and have so much potential. Kenyans thrive out here. They thrive wherever they go. Why do you think they thrive so? It's because some of these countries that Kenyans end up to have systems that are running. In Kenya, everything seems to be collapsing. And soon enough, hata ile sticker ya imperial leather itaanza kucollapse in Kenya. It will start falling off. And it's not a joke, by the way. It's that serious, because things are not as they used to be, right? So many youth are unemployed. Most of them are running towards gambling, and they're becoming addicts, gambling addicts. You know, there are so many gambling sites in Kenya, and gambling is all over this country. People are getting addicted to gambling. And you have to understand that nobody is even telling people that they will get addicted, and is not helping those who want to quit it, right? And it now becomes a burden to the community, because so many people have been left with gambling addiction. Others are losing their entire fortunes in a snap of the finger. You know, the thing about gambling is this: it only takes you one win to become an addict. And to stop gambling, it is a huge work that you have to do. It is a huge work that you have to do, because it is an entire addiction. And you know, addiction is an illness. And you will need to get support to even stop it. And you can imagine an entire generation of youth being gambling addicts. And these are the people who are told they are future leaders. What do you think will happen when they get jobs in these banks or parastatals in Kenya? These guys who are the future, they are going to gamble with the money that they will get there, or even their salaries at the end of the day. So we need, as the youth of this country, you guys need to make better choices in future. Do not buy into this populism. Populism will lead you to very, very, very bad places. Populism does not solve the problems of a nation. And let me tell you guys something. You know, this is what I always tell people. Me, personally, I've never made a wrong political choice. If anyone would ask me, what is your biggest political mistake? I have none. Because I do not just vote for anyone, right? I always scrutinize. Even among the worst, there is always someone who is better. Even if you have 1,000 bullies, there is always one who is better than the rest. And you guys don't go for such people. You go for the worst. That's for sure. Because at the end of the day, huwa kinawaramba tu. You keep complaining, weeping. The other election you guys were just going for rais wetu, oh, ni vijana. You guys don't even take time to look at manifestos. Let me tell you something. This is how I make political decisions on whom to vote. I look at their manifesto. Their manifesto does not have to be fully implemented for you to know that these guys are serious. You just need to understand how realistic is this manifesto. It will tell you how serious that guy treats you guys or takes you, right? If you look at a manifesto that is extremely unrealistic, guys, run away. It will never happen. There are so many lies that will come later on. Just look at how realistic that manifesto looks like. It will tell you. For example, if I tell you I'm going to build you 5,000 stadiums in 6 months, that's a lie. Or I tell you, I'll just build you 12,000. Or leave alone, even 12,000 is a huge number. Let's just say 12 stadiums within 6 months. Even just one stadium in 6 months. There are people who lie to you in plain sight, and you guys just buy some of these things, right? To any laptops. You guys need to be serious. You just need to use some common sense, because I think Kenyans, I don't know what happens to Kenyans when elections come. They just get switched off, hypnotized. Then their minds are replaced with tribalism. And that's it. You guys don't think. You don't even see a future from after elections, right? I know these things are not, I'm speaking like this because this thing hurts a lot, because we are building a country whose youths are gambling addicts, drug addicts, and now even that future itself has been stolen from this youth. It's not something that you should be able to laugh about, because it's painful. Imagine someone going to school. Yeah? You go through primary school, high school, to the university, right? Some even continue, get postgraduate degrees. Yeah? And then you find these guys are being told that houses are going to be built via your house, the housing tax. Then you are going to get mjengo jobs. You people need to understand when your politicians are lying to you, and you should stop buying such kinds of lies. And you should not even be giving some of these people audience. How do you expect to solve an over 2 million unemployment rate in Kenya, like over 2 million people who are unemployed, and you're telling them you're going to build houses and they'll get jobs there? Do you assume all these people are ni watu wa mjengo, like wanaenda kuinua simiti? Some of them will get. Do you think you are going to get a tender to build those houses? Wewe tu wewe unajiona hivi. Unafikiria utapewa hiyo tender? That you're going to supply cement, you're going to supply sand, you're going to supply ballast. Wewe kama youth, you think you're going to get that job? You people need to be serious, because you're not serious with your life at all. These houses, do you think all of you have experience with building houses? You are being told tutawatengenezea nyumba zitaanza kujengwa. You people need to be serious, and some of you guys just need to be caned so that you can get some senses, because hamkwangi serious, by the way. Yeah, you are the same people who are being told the Kenya is a digital economy. Saizi mnapelekwa mjengo na wheelbarrow. The other day you are launching, you are being told that to go digital, every government service has been put into one place, right? Sometimes I always wonder if Kenyans really love change, or the change that they always talk about, or they just love the problem, because currently we are in a very abusive relationship with the government. We are, in fact, you are being lied to, You are being told you're going to pay taxes that even some of you content creators are going to understand. You're still getting the 5% instead of the 15 that was proposed. But still, that is subject to how the government feels like, because the next time they might decide to just increase it to 15. What will you do as a content creator? You know, this is a government that has not been able to create jobs for you. But you guys decided, let's now look for means to create our own employment. So you decided to venture into content creation. And now someone wants to tax where they never even invested at all. Yeah. And in fact, I don't even understand how someone wakes up and says, now we are going to tax 15% content creators. You know, these content creators, let's talk about YouTube percent. Do you know how much even people make from YouTube? It's not as people imagine it. It's not that much of money that people think people make. But yes, some get good money, but it always depends. It's not a fix that you can just say, I get this amount. Some of these guys just hype you up, and they hype you up because of those views you see there, and you think it's a lot of money. Some of them don't make a lot of money as people think, because in terms of the CPM, it matters a lot. And Kenya tuko na chini. It is too low. So there are so many content creators, by the way, which yes, I have no problem if they tax content creators, but you know, Kenyans are paying tax to the US government via YouTube, because you get almost you get like 55% YouTube, for example. Then there's the digital tax comes in. By the time unapata pesa huko, you are getting less than even 50% of that money. Yeah. So unapata you'll take home something like 45% probably. But still, yes, you have to pay that tax as a content creator. Kwa nini? Because nobody even really understands what you guys do as content creators. Kazi yao ni kuona video na kucheka tu na kudance. They do not understand the work that people put before even this content is out here. The research that some content creators do. But I have no problem with that. As long as the environment is good that supports content creators, there is no problem with taxing them. Yeah? So there's so much I could talk about, and the stories would go all the way. But what I want to say is, you guys need to buckle up. You need to use some common sense. You need to mature as voters. You cannot want or purport to want to hold leaders accountable, yet you, as a voter, cannot hold yourself accountable. You need to hold yourself accountable for the decisions you make. Hold yourself accountable. Nitapiga kura. Go vote. Because whatever you do, there will be a leader at the end of the day. But try to choose the best among the worst. Because if you don't, the worst have the better opportunity of winning. And at the end of the day, ni Kenya yetu tu hii ndio itaturamba wote. We have no other country but this one. Whether you want to run to another country to go and hustle from there, bado utashikwa tu pale kwa kuprint passport. Printer, a whole nation. Ni printer iliharibika. Utakaziwa pale. There are so many people who have missed opportunities to go overseas because printer imeharibika. So tuko hapa. We are going to, all of us, face the consequences of our actions. And I just hope that by the time this government goes out, you will all have learned a lesson that politics is serious and voting is very important. And not just voting, but voting wisely is very important. And not just anyone. Vote for leaders, not politicians. Politicians deal, leaders lead. So pick leaders among the politicians. And how do you know a politician? They never stand by what they say. They never do. They will lie today, lie tomorrow, lie next time, and convince you how you are the one who is not understanding the lie. That's what politicians do. Otherwise, till we meet next again, have a great one. And if you feel like you like this video, subscribe. More will come. If you feel like it's worth sharing, share it. We need more people to understand and get this message. Because as the youth of this country, we might not have a future if we do not take responsibility of the kind of leadership that we want at the moment. Otherwise, have a good one.